Our next guest company oversaw the completion of the high-speed communications infrastructure in the New York City subway system. It included more than 160 miles of fiber optic cable to support Wi-Fi and cell service in the city's more than 200 subway stations. I want to welcome Melinda White, CEO of wireless infrastructure company Transit Wireless. Good morning.
Good morning.
And thank you for bringing wireless to our humble little subways and elsewhere. Can we just talk for just a second about the technological challenge of actually doing something like that and sort of how scalable this is to other places? I assume this was not an easy task.
It was extremely complex. You think about building a wireless network underground, start with that, and then you put the environmental factors of New York City subway. And across 283 platforms, we were able to complete that project by the end of 2016, actually 2 years ahead of plan. And we have an incredibly knowledgeable group of people. And yes, it is scalable, and that's part of the good news. So as we think about now extending that infrastructure so that New York City subway riders can have connectivity all the way through.
So one of the things that I was thinking about, and I have to plead ignorance on this, is you guys are using effectively shared transponders. So if you're on AT&T or Verizon, anybody can share this.
Well,
is that a larger model?
It is a larger model, but it's actually each mobile carrier has their own distributed antenna system.
Inside,
and yes,
okay.
We are a neutral host, so we build the network, we operate the network, and then our mobile carriers put their antenna systems on so that all 4 national carriers are available to their customers in the underground New York City subway.
So it gives everybody choice. They can decide
Everyone
what they
has
want to
choice.
use. Yep.
We also have a Wi-Fi network in case they want to be on public Wi-Fi. It's free. And we also built a public safety network where the help points reside.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just going to say, as you see traffic increase, the subways are busy, they're crowded, you've got your peak and low times. How do you deal with the capacity issues, Melinda?
The same way that we deal with it even outside of the subway, right? We understand what densification means. Our mobile carriers are on top of their coverage capacity needs underground, and we have the types of directional antennas so that we can handle capacity and consumption.
I want you to weigh in, if you could, on 2 big sort of hot button issues right now.
Yes.
One is a competitive issue, because you talked about 4 competitors that are underground with everybody right now, and there's conversation about those 4 turning into 3, and whether that's a good thing. And then I want to talk a little bit about 5G, and what do you think that actually...
I was going to ask about that, too, so it's good.
Okay, so, but on the issue of Sprint, T-Mobile coming together, a good thing for the public, a bad thing for the public?
Oh, I think that, it could be both. And that's probably a bit of a cop-out on an answer, but who knows what's going to happen there. I think for the consumers, for their customers, it will be no disruption at all in their service.
Maggie, do you have a view on that, by the way? This is your world.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a positive.
It's going to be a positive.
I think it strengthens a third player, and it actually brings some great network capacity capability in the United States.
Creates more competition.
More competition.
Lower prices, better for the customer.
Yes, and more aggressive. So.
And if it doesn't happen, what happens to Sprint and T-Mobile?
Well, that's a really good question. Who knows?
Well, and here's a public policy question, which is, if, for example, people say Sprint could run into some serious trouble, meaning into a very bad place, but there's an argument to be made that even if they went to a bad place, we won't even talk about that bad place, that someone could come in and try to buy it for very little, or buy up the debt for very little, and then reinvest in it and create an even stronger competitor. So from a public policy perspective, is a question about, yes, put them together because that might help the customer, but also if you let them stay apart, would that help? Would that create more competition long term? And these are sort of very difficult questions that I think Washington's asking.
They could also become private carriers for specific companies as well that use a lot of capacity in terms of how they run their businesses. So there are other buyers and other outlets for that capacity. But I think bringing them together actually is a good check and balance for the system. But 5G...
5G, how far away are we for real?
Well, it's happening now in small pockets, and 5G light technologies are happening now. There's a lot to do. It's a mass deployment.
How long will it take to have 5G in the subways? And will it ever
The
work down
fiber
there?
network is ready for 5G. The mobile carriers are doing their work to ensure that what they put on that network is real, but you've also got to get a device in the hands of the users.
Right.
So
It's a different device.
I think, I don't want to be the, who's going to say when. It's probably, though, in progress, and we'll start to see more and more of it visible in the near.
How about this model in other markets, Melinda? Can you expand this to other cities?
Yes, we are designers, we're builders, we focus on transit operations. So you think about trains, subways, buses all across the United States. Communication networks are needed.